to balance your business's contribution and supersize your impact. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's talk about this today. Just like everything else in our business and in our personal lives, as we're discussing in the Be a Better You annual challenge, we have to have a conscious way of contributing and giving value to the world outside of us. Otherwise, what happens? We might expend too many resources, too much energy, and find out that it's having a negative impact on our lives or on our business if we're not careful. On a personal level, it can lead to burnout. And I shared this story of, whose story was it? I want to say, Emily, but I don't think it was Emily. I shared, Jenna's story. She's a volunteer, and she would volunteer every single weekend out of obligation, feeling like she had to do it, usually as part of her organization, part of her job, but she wasn't paid for it, but she was doing it every single weekend, and she was getting burnout, chronic fatigue. She was having physical symptoms as well as emotional symptoms, in that she didn't want to participate, but she felt like if she didn't, she would lose her job or something. So she found a different way to contribute, but not every single weekend of her life. So I talked about how to say no gracefully, how to pick and choose, and we've talked about this already, what's right for your organization. I'm going to share these two tools. The first tool is an energy audit. I'm a huge believer in all different types of audits, and this is no different. When we're contributing, when we're doing anything for our business, we need to have metrics to track what's working and what's not working. We need to survey and talk to people to find out how are they actually feeling about what it is that we're doing as an organization. And hopefully we pick the things that are right for us, match our core values, etc. And people are aligned in the roles that feel best and right for them. But when we do an energy audit, we just ask ourselves a couple of questions. The first thing we do is we look at all the different ways we're contributing as an organization. What's our current level of contribution? Volunteering, helping other organizations, helping families, helping customers that are a specific part of, or not a part of our niche, but we want, or our audience, but we want to bring them in and up to speed and to become customers and part of our audience. Mentoring, donations, whatever it might be. And then we're going to rate each one of these on, we're just going to list them all out. We should do this every year at least. We're going to list them all out. I've got a spreadsheet that I do mine in. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, what is the emotional energy that we're putting out? So emotional energy given, or energy given, hours, however we're tracking it. And then what is the emotional energy that we receive back from that? What is coming back to our organization as a result of this effort we're putting in? You might say, oh my God, that is so over the top, because you're measuring that you're making the world a better place and putting good into the world. Yeah, we need to pretty much measure everything and document everything for our businesses. It's the fastest way to get a competitive advantage in any area and aspect of our business, as well as to see and make improvements, because we aren't remembering what we're doing. We're actually documenting what we're doing. The 3-bucket strategy is another one that I like when it comes to, excuse my throat. When it comes to analyzing and looking at the balance of what we're giving versus what we're getting back. And it isn't just that it should be absolutely equal. It's how does it make us feel as an organization? Do we feel like we're passionate about contributing to this, or do we feel like we're obligated to? And that's the real difference. And that's why it's emotional energy given, emotional energy received. And I actually combine these two methods when we track it for our business. The second is the 3-bucket allocation strategy. And that is where you spending your time. Number one, look at all the different ways your organization is contributing and divide it into 3 areas: the passion bucket, the skills bucket, and the obligation bucket. Now, there are things we are obligated to do to make the world a better place because we're in a certain business or industry. And those we want to keep doing, but we don't want those to be more than 30% of the volunteering or the contributing that we're doing. Our skills sharing is the other bucket. And as an organization, we want to shoot for about 30% for that of all of our impact and contribution activities as well. And we want to give 40% to those things that we're really passionate about as an organization. What's most important to us? What gets us excited? And what do we really love to contribute to? Those are our passion projects. So 40% passion, 30% skill, 30% obligation. And you can tweak and test those with what feels best for your organization. Maybe you only want 10% obligation and 50% passion and 40% skills. It's up to you. You get to decide. It's your business. It's your impact on the world. It's how do you want to make the world a better place? Each of my businesses tend to be about more like that, actually, 50, 40, and 10 than obligation-based. But this is a tool, and this is a tool I originally learned, and the guidelines they suggest. And maybe it's more suggested from a personal level. I don't know, up to you. But today what we're going to do is we are going to do, if you've never done one, an energy audit on our contribution, our volunteering, our whatever you do for a company, as a business, and then also look at that from a bucket standpoint and determine if changes need to be made in the balance of your giving. Because what we give should feel good to make the world a better place. If we're giving with negative energy, guess what? The negative energy is coming through in everything that we do. All right, that's all I've got today. If I can help in any way with this, if you need help walking through the audit or the bucket system, let me know. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I will, of course, see you tomorrow.